la striscia lungo il centro della carreggiata. For all roads, these lines should be continuous or discontinuous, and the other name for discontinuous they call it tratteggiata. And then when they discontinuous, you not fit cross the line.
You can also say these lines not be just design, so there be road signs as well. And for this video, we go know why these lines they there, the actions you go take, and where and when you go fit come across these lines. And that's the logic about these lectures we want to do so.
Striscia bianca discontinua al centro della carreggiata. The line within the middle, it can be discontinuous. And this line divides the carreggiata in two ways, in due corsia, and it can be crossed when you overtake, but you have to respect all the laws which guide the movement of cars on the road. You not fit drive on top of the line like that. They call it stando a cavallo. If the road be two ways and with two corsias, that line divides the road in two ways. Divide il senso the marcia. And then if you want to overtake, you go occupy for some time the left corsia, and then when other ways, other things they clear for you to overtake, then you can overtake. You can also do U-turn in Versione di marcia in a secured way. You can also turn to the left, that is svuotare a sinistra, meaning you have to move your car to the middle of the carreggiata, spostandosi verso il centro della carreggiata. It's not true that because you want to U-turn, that it is not necessary to occupy the other corsia. You need to occupy the other corsia when you're doing your U-turn. If the carreggiata be one way, and the striscia, the line with the middle, a continuous line, it serves to demarcate the courses, the lanes. Remember, say normally the one at the left hand is reserved to overtake. So it allows overtaking. Even where curves, they close to a curve, you can overtake. Even close to a dorsey. And then you can svuotare a sinistra. You can bend to your left hand side. It's not true that you can always move in file parallele. That means you can always move side by side with other cars on the carreggiata, and then that you can also do U-turn on senso unico is not true. You cannot do U-turn when the road due corsia two ways or they go one direction. Striscia bianca continua a centro della carreggiata. The white line, they continuous, the middle of the carreggiata. This line divides the carreggiata into two lanes, and you cannot overtake, you cannot cross the line within the middle. It allows overtaking without crossing the line, unless there are other motives that forbids it. Remember, you not fit drive on top of the line. You not fit do U-turn. It divides the lane, the movement of cars in two ways. It becomes doppio senso. And then on the road with two ways, you can find this kind of line for where close to a pericolo, close to a danger, meaning you never crossed the danger yet. And then meaning you can see and when they climb dorso, or when you they reach where zebra crossing dey, attraversamento pedonale, or the ones where bicycle they used to cross road, attraversamento ciclabile. La doppia striscia continua, two lines within the middle, but these two lines they continuous. This line serves to divide the road into lanes, okay? And there are two ways going and coming. For example, if you get four lanes, two to go and two to come, you not fit cross this line, as you fit overtake without crossing the line. It does not allow you to do U-turn, and then you not fit turn go the left hand side. It's not true that you go find this kind of lines at the edge of the road. We get other lines we go see for the edge of the road, or where you go stop your car before traffic lights, or before you give precedence. This double lane not safe for that one. There are other lines. Striscia continua centrale, affiancata a sinistra una striscia discontinua. In summary, talk about these two lines with the middle of the carreggiata. Now, these two lines sometimes they're confusing. But when you say like this, use the car, for example. Where the car they close to the line where they continuous. Meaning, whatever affects me with that line where they continuous affects me on this road. So if I not fit cross the line because it they continuous, the same thing here because 9 they close to me. But the other one with the other side, which we'll do later, the other line with it discontinuous affects the other car with the other side. Let's take some examples. This kind of line is seen for road with the two ways, and then the continuous line where face my car, where face that black car, indicates that I'm yet to cross a danger. Danger they close to me where I need to cross. And meaning I not fit enter the other course. I not fit enter the other lane by crossing the middle line.
But then I go fit overtake. If I'm overtaking, I no need to cross my line. I go overtake within my own line. I won't cross either my line or the other line with.
For example, now, if you find this kind of line before a curve, and then you see find out too when they climb a door, so again, if you find this line before a junction, and then before un passaggio a livello. Striscia discontinua centrale affiancata a sinistra da una striscia continua. It's almost the same thing, but now it's been turned around. Now my car, they by the side of that line with the middle, where they discontinuous. Meaning, what I fit do for ordinary discontinuous line, I fit do one here. So since the line within my path they discontinuous, what can I do? I can cross that line. Meaning,
If I want to overtake, I go fit cross the this continuous line and the continuous line. Meaning say I fit cross both lines to overtake. That is just the law for this kind of double lines where they the middle, where one day continuous and the one is discontinuous. What affects me is the one where they by my car. The one where they close to my car gives me what I should do, either to overtake or not to overtake.
I don't cross danger already. Before I never cross the danger, but now I don't cross the danger. Meaning I feel see am now after a curve, dopo una curva, and then I feel see am again for the coming down of a dorso. Sul tratto in discesa di un dorso, I feel see am again for after a junction, dopo un incrocio, and then after e passaggio a livello. Striscia bianca laterale continua che separa la carreggiata dalla corsia di emergenza. Waiting they talk for this place. Now just simple. If you see these lanes A, B, C, B and C na normal lane. Where they talk about now this line, that line where separates B from A. Because A, the lane will be A, na emergency lane. So they are asking us now, that line will separate emergency lane from the main carreggiata, which kind of line it be? Na continuous line. So what we are going to explain here be say, the line will separate emergency lane from the main carreggiata na continuous line in case you stand for exam. This stretcher, this white continuous line, separates the carreggiata from the corsia, the emergency lane. Meaning, you can only cross this line in case your car spoil or passengers are sick, and then for only 3 hours. And then you not even fit occupy that lane or cross that line when there is traffic. The only cars wey fit pass that road, that emergency lane, na ambulance or police cars or other cars in public services, like for disabled persons, other cars wey dey do those emergency services. It is not true that that lane allows motorcycles to pass. Street share laterally. This line, this street share, now the line to limit the edge of the road, the borders of the road. Sono immagini della carreggiata, and then they are signed out, they are marked out with white colors. And this line can be continuous or discontinuous. If it is continuous, meaning you cannot cross it, like what we do just now, emergency course here, you can't enter or back in it. Then if it is discontinuous, like the road, the line will separate some places like Passo Carabile from the main road, like corsia di accelerazione or decelerazione. Now, this continuous line now separates this part of the road, from the main carreggiata. So, in case they ask you these questions, now this continuous line separates passi carabile from carreggiata, corsia di accelerazione or decelerazione from carreggiata.
You still say the line we separate this Piazzola di Sosta from the main carreggiata now white broken lines. That is this continuous line nice separator. So one the logic way they find they say they go ask you what is separate this place from the main road now broken lines.
Strisce di guida sulle intersezioni. These are lanes of driving that guides you on how to make your turns for junction. And these particular ones now, they did discontinuous. That means tratteggiate. And they are in white colors. They says for you to turn correctly to your left, avoiding to go against traffic. In normal ways, when you bend to the left hand side, you will leave the middle of the road for your right hand side. So la svolta a sinistra si effettua lasciando alla nostra destra il centro di incrocio. Because the line now within the middle now, those lines now, they are continuous line, meaning the cars in this way now go move in these directions. Vehicle A can go in all directions. B can go to the left, but it has to give precedence to the car A, and C can go direct. So this is how it is. You have insula di traffico. Insula di traffico now a part of the road where they use white lines to demarcate, and then it means that part of road where car no fit enter, vietato a transito, and then it not also allow cars to stop at that particular place. In this figure now, which you see say car A has to go straight, B has to turn to the right, and C has to turn to the right. It is not true that that line can be drawn with blue colors. Striscia traversale continua. This line with the road will be continuous line. We cross the lane at the edge before you enter another road or for junction. It serves to tell driver where to stop their car. In the presence of stop signs like street lights will not be red, or vigili, police will stop the road, or where you foresee signs of fermarsi e dare precedenza. And again, this line wey dey draw for ground so fit also be completed with a written stop wey dey write for the pavement of the road. Corsia di precelesazione. When there is no arrow fresh that gives direction to how cars can move on this corsia, what it means is that the lane with it by the left hand side is used to move to the left, the one with it by the middle is used to go straight, and then the one with the by the left hand side you use there to move to the left hand side. It is allowed to change lane before you reach the straight continuous line. When you want change lane when the line between the lanes still be broken lines, discontinuous. Once it don't become continuous, you no fit change your lane again. It is not true say the right hand lane is the reserve am for cars wey dey go very slow. Non è vero che la corsia di destra è riservata ai veicoli lenti. Corsie di precipitazione con frecce direzionali. Now this one has arrows to tell you where to go. Okay? It is at that place you have to change your course, your lane, where the line still dey broken before you reach the continuous line wey divide the corsia. As you see for the diagram now, it says the corsia allows the driver only to go to the left hand side. The one for B, the lane B, allows the driver to turn either to the left or to the right. The one wey dey corsia C, wey dey lane C, allows the driver only to turn to the left hand side. And this kind of line, this kind of road, if you see they write the name of the city according to the arrows wey dey ground. Attraversamento pedonale, this kind of lines you go see am for outside or inside centro abitante, inside city. It is an attraversamento pedonale, zebra crossing, in which persons wey dey cross the road, wey dey cross that place, get right over vehicles. And then sometimes e fit dey completed with other signs, vertical signs of attraversamento pedonale. If you find this thing for Strada Extraurbana Secondario, before this very sign, you go see on that red triangle danger sign for pericolo attraversamento pedonale. It tells the driver to stop and give precedence, fermarsi, e dare precedenza to those wey dey cross the road. You are forbidden to park your car or to stop your car on top of the line. And then you are told not to make you no overtake driver wey stop to allow people pass. And you fit see say attraversamento pedonale get one other zigzag yellow sign by the right hand side of the road to make that zebra crossing more visible. Segnaletica nei pressi di un passaggio a livello. This line it serves to announce, to warn drivers that they are getting close to a passaggio a livello, whatever kind of passaggio a livello, con barriere, senza barriere, or con semi-barriere. And then it tells the driver to be careful in case train they cross that road, so that you're ready to stop. Segnaletica nei pressi della fermata dell'autobus. This line indicates in the figure indicates a zone or a path for this fermata for autobus, for where bus they make their brief stop. Could be not just autobus, but filobus and autosonandati where they walk. It allows these buses to easily make their movement to stop to drop passengers and then continue their journey. Forbids cars, other cars to park on that place. You can fermare, but you cannot sostare on that line. It's not true that it's also reserved for the stopping of taxi. Segnali gialli e neri. It's this kind of line vertically for marciapiede, and it indicates that on that part of the road it's forbidden to park. You can fermare, but forbidden to park for all cars. So it does not allow parking for even autobus. Area di parcheggio destinata a persone invalide. The line demarcates with yellow lines area where disabled people fit park their cars. That line, yellow line wey dey much, must be left free to allow these people wey dey use wheelchair, disabled people, to enter their car or come out of their car with ease. So when you see this line, don't go block, don't go park for the yellow line at all. That line there to make it easy for these people to come down and enter their car. So we get artificial doors. So and this one you see them for ground. It will help you to remind you to reduce your speed. It's to reduce your speed. It's not true that it forbids overtaking or forceful starring. No. What it tells you that it brings to your mind that you have to reduce your speed. They put on for roads where one has to reduce its speed when driving. Bass in your face.